Hello friends, this video on nutrition in plants part 10 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. So with this we have reached towards the end of this lesson. So it's time to look at some of the questions. Question number 1. Why do organisms need to take food? So the same basic question, why are we even learning about nutrition? So we learned about plant nutrition in this lesson, but why do organisms need food? For their growth, because without food they will not have energy. When they don't have energy, they can't grow. For tissue repair, so if any damage happens to any part of the body, so for repairing that cell or tissue, they again need energy. Reproduction is important so that the species can be sustained generations after generations, and even reproduction needs energy, and energy comes from food. Metabolism, the various metabolic processes, the various life processes which happen inside the body of a living organism, starting from digestion, respiration, circulation, excretion, everything needs energy to perform. So this energy is obtained from food. So basically food provides the nutrients in the form of carbohydrates, proteins, minerals, vitamins, etc. And all these nutrients help in the growth and development of the organisms. Resistance against diseases. It also protects the organism from diseases. Now, the stronger an organism is, the less probable it is to be attacked by a disease. So, if you eat well, if you have enough energy, you are strong, you are healthy, you are less likely to be attacked by a disease. So, that means it develops the resistance of the body against diseases. Question number 2. Distinguish between a parasite and a saprotroph. Now, a parasite and a saprotroph, what is the similarity between these two? Both of them fall under the category of a heterotroph. That is, both of them depend on some other organism for their food. But when you talk about the difference, parasite derives its nutrients from another living organism. And what is that living organism called? That is host. Whereas saprotroph, they derive their food from dead organism. So they are not dependent on other living organism. Instead, they are dependent on dead organisms. Parasite can harm the host. Saprotroph, in saprotroph there is no host involved because there is no other living organism involved. Examples of parasites are cuscuta, orchids, Australian Christmas tree, etc. Saprotrophs, you have bacteria, fungi, they are the examples of saprotrophs. Question number 3. How would you test the presence of starch in leaves? Now, which kind of leaves will have starch? Those which have undergone photosynthesis, because the result of photosynthesis is carbohydrates, that is in the form of glucose. But how is this glucose stored inside plants? The glucose gets converted into a polysaccharide, which is again a carbohydrate, and this starch is stored in the leaves. Now, how do we know that starch is present in a leaf or not? So for that we perform a very simple test which is called iodine test. Now what happens in that iodine test is that you put a few drops of iodine on a leaf. Okay, so now if the leaf contains starch, in that case the color of the leaf would become bluish black. But if there is no starch present in the leaf, then there will be no bluish black color. So basically it is a very simple test. Now why this color change happens? Because iodine reacts with starch to form, to undergo a chemical reaction, and due to that chemical reaction there is this color change. But if there is no starch, that chemical reaction will not take place. So it's very simple to decide or to determine whether the plant undergoes photosynthesis or not. So if a plant is not undergoing photosynthesis, you will not be able to find starch in that plant. Question number 4. Give a brief description of the process of synthesis of food in green plants. What is this process of synthesis of food in green plants called? This is called photosynthesis, right? And what is photosynthesis? It is a process where plants prepare their food in presence of sunlight, chlorophyll, they need carbon dioxide and water. So what exactly happens during this entire process is that carbon dioxide and water, they combine in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, because it is basically chlorophyll which absorbs the sunlight and converts it into a chemical energy, and this forms the carbohydrate which is in the form of glucose primarily, and this glucose then later gets converted into starch, and that's how it is stored inside the leaves of plants, and oxygen is released in this process. So that's about the process of photosynthesis. Thank you. Please visit www.examfear.com to watch more educational videos with a better experience. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for latest updates. Thank you once again.